basically we have this match with Miro, who's like one of the strongest heel champions that we've seen in a long time. So good at what he does, even though he's a heel and God's favorite champion. The fans love him. When he cheats, they react positively. Like, it's great. So this guy's been awesome. And I wasn't even sure. This is one of those matches, like, you know what? Like, I'm thinking maybe Sammy has a chance, but like, it could have gone either way. I wasn't sold 100% either way. You know, I was iffy on it. So, hey, cut to the chase here. Sammy wins a great match. And what I want to go and just point out is this, and this is what WWE should just take note of, or every wrestling fan could even take note of. From the beginning of the show, where it started off with one of the four pillars of their youth, AEW's youth, Jungle Boy, in a match with Adam Cole, who's like the hottest free agent in wrestling recently, starts working a program with Adam Cole, has a hell of a match to lead off. Then you have in the middle of the show, and it might have been around the 9 o'clock hour, MJF and Darby Allin, two of the four pillars of youth for AEW, begin a program against each other, which had one of the most killer promos that you will ever see, and it's building on something incredible. And then you end the show with having the fourth of four pillars that company has win the TNT championship off of Miro, one of the biggest heels that they've ever had, and a huge success. And it was a hell of a show that basically made fans at home and fans in the stands beyond happy. And it's one of those moments in that company's history where you and I are going to go and talk about this and be like, remember that? We saw that. And these guys have been world champs then at that point, tag team champs many times over, great feuds, and these guys all could be wrestling there for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is just an incredible foundation. And then you look and see what WWE is answering with. Goldberg.
Lesnar. Edge.
Right? Edge
and Rollins.
Right. So, you know, and then it's these, like, I've never seen an almost more uneven match in terms of companies at this point. Because really, there's not much of a future that WWE can offer compared to what I just described to you.
I thought when NWO first took over WCW that first year, they were a lot better than WWE. But not like this. This is something that I'm passionate about. You know, there was still the beginnings of there was still the Hart Foundation. There was still Shawn Michaels. There was the beginnings of Stone Cold. There were still some really great things happening, multiple great things happening in WWE, along with the Disciples of Apocalypse and, you know, Los Baricuas and whatever the hell else was a disaster back then.
Right.
But nothing like this. This is just from top to bottom. Other than production, it's a better show from top to bottom. And there's a reason for it, folks. And I think this goes to it. And this is the difference. And I think we talked about it in pre-production. You know, Bruce Pritchard said something. I still listen to his podcast often. And they were doing a best of Vince McMahon stories this past week. And I encourage you to listen to it. Some funny stuff on there. And Vince, his idea was that people that are saying that Vince McMahon is out of touch and doesn't know what he's doing anymore is the same thing people were saying in 1984, the same thing people were saying in 1997. Well, this is different now. He's a 76, pushing 77 years old. And he's not the same guy anymore. And he doesn't know what's going on in professional wrestling. He hasn't been in touch with professional wrestling for 10 years. There just hasn't been a national alternative to figure that out. Now that there is, it's obvious. And he said something, I will go with his track record. I'll trust his track record in the future and what's happening with WWE. And that's just a ridiculous, and we know why he's doing it. He wants a job. But it's an absolute idiotic idea that is what you're going to rest your laurels on. He can't be genuine about that. That's like saying, and I brought this up, it's like Joe Montana. I want to go with his track record too. He should not be starting the Super Bowl in 2021.
Right.
You know, Buster Douglas should not be fighting for the world championship in 2021. Patrick Ewing should not be playing for an NBA championship in 2021.
Tom Brady. Oh.
Jesus Christ. So the point is here is that the dawn is coming. Whether it's because of the dawn is coming of a new day in WWE. But it's dark as hell right now in terms of their future, and it's not going to get better until Vincent Kennedy McMahon either starts listening to other people or he dies.
What would Ivan Drago say about that?
If he dies, he dies.